If you thought that French is the sexiest accent in the world, think again.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 sexiest accents.
And then I said, oh, sorry, this is a bit awkward. I've never done this before. And he said, I've never done this either.
Yeah.
And then we became mates.
Yeah, we became mates.
For this list, we're looking at the accents that North American English speakers find add a certain something to their own language. It'd be complicated to pinpoint dialectical differences, so we'll be going as general as possible with this one. What's your favorite accent? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, New Zealand Kiwi. Like many of the entries on this list, the New Zealand or Kiwi accent is an amalgam of historical sounds and influences.
I Google myself all the time. Knowing me intimately is still not enough. I just need to know more. Welcome to my nightmare.
The Kiwi accent and New Zealand English developed in the 19th century, making it one of the youngest new varieties of English on the planet. It's also one of the most distinctive. It's basically closest to a Southern English sound, with Maori and Australian influences rounding it off, and creating a small variety of dialects. This is due to British colonization in the 1840s. The Kiwi accent is sometimes mistaken for Aussie, but there are considerable differences in vowel pronunciation.
I've totally confused you with Australians. I feel terrible.
Oh no.
Your accents, they're just kind of similar.
Our accents are completely different. They're like, where's the car? And we're like, where's the car?
In 2019, major travel website Big 7 declared after a survey that the Kiwi accent was the sexiest in the world. And you cannot deny, it definitely has its charm. Number 19, Arabic. There are dozens of Arabic dialects.
Want to learn to speak? Okay, well, you have to get the accent first.
But for the purposes of this list, we're sticking to what is known to linguists as MSA, or Modern Standard Arabic, which refers to the dialect developed in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The Arabic alphabet has 2 more letters than the English alphabet. However, it only contains 8 vowel sounds, whereas English has 22. This perhaps adds to the unfamiliar and mysterious side of the language to the basic English speaker, which plays into the whole sexiness thing. For instance, Egyptian actor Omar Sharif was quite the heartthrob when he made his way to America, beginning with Lawrence of Arabia in 1962.
You have been sent from Cairo.
Yes.
I have been in Cairo for my schooling. I can both read and write.
Ask your grandma. Number 18, German. In 2020, a poll on a British site found that the top sexy accent for local men is German. A rep from the site said, quote, "It's not surprising a German accent will arouse men. It is dominant and icy with a certain elusive quality."
I love the German language.
Yeah, but the last name is like...
Schweighofer.
Schweighofer is fantastic, and the last name is like, even for my family, sometimes unpronounceable. It's like...
Is that after alcohol is involved?
It's also important to note that many European supermodels speak with German accents, which definitely wouldn't hurt these results.
I don't know if we could say that we're...
Backfighting
Backfighting Gesicht.
Okay, A, is it someone who has a face you really want to slap? Or B, the numbness you get in your bottom when you sit too long.
German speakers, when speaking English, apply the rules of their mother tongue pronunciation, such as pronouncing the WH sound as V. Also, a voiced TH sound, as in there, comes out as a Z, and an unvoiced one, as in thought, comes out as an S. All this, as naive as it may sound, may be considered whimsical by native English speakers. Number 17, Japanese. Many of the entries on this list contain languages that don't have certain English sounds. This is the case with Japanese. For example, the English L and R sounds.
Welcome to Kisenema and my cafe, Kepoto.
This is because in Japanese, neither exact sound exists, and the closest is a sound that falls between the English R and L. That makes it difficult for Japanese speakers to tell the difference between the two. Aside from this, we cannot ignore the influence of anime on this entry. The medium definitely romanticizes Japan, and it encourages the attraction some have to the culture, accent, and overall appeal of Japanese.
何お手紙渡しちゃってるんですか? Muge-san.
Number 16, Swedish. Swedish is a vowel-heavy language, with a possible 18 vowel sounds in most dialects. The language contains a lot of pitch variations and lengthy syllabic pronunciation, giving it a sing-song sound to the untrained ear.
So if you're speaking a Swedish accent like me, it's more like a Stockholm accent. But if you're from Gothenburg, it might sound a little bit more like this.
As with Latin-based languages, Germanic languages pronounce their J's as Y's, making for some interesting mispronunciations when speaking English. All of these things, among others, contribute to the accent being perceived as sexy. Also, let's face it, we owe a lot to IKEA and the Skarsgård family.
I was in Stockholm, in South Stockholm, where I'm from.
Yep.
I was at a local coffee shop when you called.
Yes.
I guess you figured, like, I need a Swede. I know one Swede. I'll call Alexander.
You're my go-to Swede.
Yeah.
Number 15, Trinidadian. The Trinidadian Creole accent is one with a diverse and complex history. The word Creole means a melange of languages simplified and/or borrowed from to create a new stable language.
Yeah, Trinidad, you know there. Who's from San Fernando? Yeah, San Fernando there.
Like many Caribbean languages, Trinidadian is composed of a vocabulary derived from English. Its influences involve French, Portuguese, Chinese, Spanish, South Asian languages, and a number of African languages, which is one heck of a mix. This secret linguistic recipe evidently makes for a sexy sound.
This is the most important herb in Trinidad, by far. This goes into everything. You know, it's in everything. From raw salads to all our stews, everything.
A CNN article in 2014 referred to it as, quote, a rubber life raft bobbing on a sea of steel drums. Whatever that means. Trinidadians have also been called some of the happiest people in the world, and that definitely helps. Number 14, Scottish. There are a considerable amount of differences in Scottish English when compared to American English. This sometimes makes comprehension difficult between English speakers.
I think that's why we die so young in Scotland, because it's just exhausting conversation. It's so much more effort. You need to translate in your head and then go say it.
This doesn't affect the sexiness factor, however. Website The Tab asked a number of people what makes the accent so alluring.
God yourself! Go on, you can do this. It's a sign of encouragement, not something you often get in Scotland.
While some cited the attractiveness of the Scottish people, think Gerard Butler and Karen Gillan, another respondent said, quote, the beauty of the Scottish accent is that it sounds exactly like the motherland looks, which basically means it's both hard and soft and full of dichotomies.
This is a guide to getting it on. And I don't need any guide. I just want you to know, I know exactly what to do.
Number 13, Jamaican Patois. Jamaican Creole, or Patois, is spoken by the majority of Jamaican residents.
Yeah, man, Jamaica is cool, man. You know, as she said, if you play smart, you know, just like anywhere else on earth, you don't wander in certain territories by yourself, but you know, it's cool.
It's primarily English, but contains a number of words from the Akan language of West Africa. The Creole developed in the 1600s as slaves adopted the various accents of slave owners, British, Scottish, and Irish, and combined them with their own West African dialects. The world's fastest man and Olympic gold medalist Usain Bolt hails from Jamaica, and hearing him speak in that mellow, relaxed tone always evokes pictures of his home country.
It's great. It's wonderful. As you said, sometimes I sit down and I think about, I'm actually the fastest man in the world.
Number 12, Iranian. Iranian, or Persian, is a soft, phonetically smooth language, and its accent reflects this.
The thing with Iran is, tea is center of everything in Iran.
Really? Tea?
Yes.
Okay.
Like England?
Yeah, but the thing is, the tea we have is different than the English tea. First of all, because we take it black, no milk, and no tea bags.
The language itself is ancient, its modern version having developed in a fairly linear way dating back to the 4th century BCE. Persian literature is also very prominent, and responsible for some of the most striking works of the Middle Ages. A language and accent rooted in antiquity and poetry can't possibly be unattractive, right? On this topic, we have 2 words. Shohreh Aghdashloo. This Iranian actor has the sultriest voice of them all. and her Persian accent adds to the auditory wonder that is her voice.
First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure both.
Number 11, Nigerian. Though English is the official spoken language in Nigeria, there are hundreds of others present in some capacity, often in more rural parts of the country.
Godfrey, we enjoyed your show. That's how Nigerians talk about our face. We enjoyed your show. You said you're Nigerian. What? What part?
With such variety, there's no definite Nigerian accent, but those in North America have a general idea of its sounds and pronunciations. The Nigerian accent is often cited as one of the sexiest in the world, and its popularity was greatly influenced by musician King Sunny Ade and actor Omotola Jalade Kehinde.
You know, my father says every time he sees you on TV, he's very happy that I am here, that I'm in safe hands with you.
Number 10, Russian. The Russian accent has been referred to as, quote, serious, mysterious, and even a little dangerous by its admirers over a thought catalog. Typical Russians speaking English roll their R's and pronounce TH sounds as D's.
Does Putin watch your show?
Is he watching or not? No, I don't know.
As seen previously in this list, these small changes in pronunciation can add to the romanticism of European accents. Russians also tend to speak in a low register and in a monotonous tone.
Tell me about yourself.
I am half Russian, half Serbian guy who lives in Moscow.
As Trevor Noah put it, the Russian accent almost always sounds frightening, no matter what's being said.
I don't care who you are, you cannot deny that when a Russian speaks, you are not comfortable.
Some find scary sexy. Number 9, South African. Speaking of Trevor Noah, we come to the South African accent.
I've been very impressed with the management of the company itself.
Once again, there are a number of dialects, but we'll try to be as general as possible. In 1795, the first British colonists arrived in South Africa, where the Dutch had settled a trade outpost in the 17th century. Thus, the first declared official languages of the region were English and Dutch. However, the latter was rapidly replaced with Afrikaans.
I mean, it's baie moeilik om in Afrikaans te praat as daar net een persoon is wat Afrikaans praat en niemand praat terug nie. So dis 'n bietjie snaaks.
In 1994, English, Afrikaans, and 9 Southern Bantu languages became co-holders of the official language title. As you can see, the accent has a multitude of sources, resulting in a unique melange that's considered quite an attractive sound to the North American English-speaking ear. Number 8, Australian. Australia was famously colonized in the 18th century by England as they established a large penal colony on the southern continent.
What are you doing?
Well, we're doing the weather for the Today Show, and I often get teased about not having the best presenting skills or pronunciation. You want to help me out?
Yeah, let's mispronounce all of these.
The modern Australian accent is thus developed from Irish and British accents, particularly from the southeast regions of England. It closely resembles the Kiwi accent, though it lacks the Maori influence of New Zealand's pronunciation. There are a number of celebrities of Australian origin that surely helped the accent make this list. Nicole Kidman, the Hemsworth brothers, and Elle Macpherson, to name a few.
Hey there, I am Elle Macpherson, and I am going to share with you my beauty routine, which is really a wellness routine disguised as a beauty routine.
Number 7, Bajan Creole. Bajan Creole is the primary language of the island of Barbados in the Caribbean. Much like other languages in that area, it's derived from British and African influences.
They're just like, cheese on, brace. And I was like, what happened there? Like, you for real? All right, Ed. Roughness.
Bajan is spoken informally, whereas English is used in almost all other media, including the judicial system and government documents. Arguably the most popular current celebrity who speaks with a typical Barbadian accent is Rihanna.
Barbadians are proud people, you know? We are probably the proudest people I know. And no matter where I go in the world, I take that pride with me. No matter where we go, the world is gonna know that we Bajan to the bone.
However, she has admitted to adjusting her accent for the sake of interviews and such. Number 6, British English. Once again, we find ourselves with a number of dialects to choose from. Arguably, when someone mentions the British accent, the first thing that comes to mind for non-Brits is the Queen's English, otherwise known as received pronunciation.
The word that came up a lot was house.
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 Because we had to say, because they lived in Clarence House.
Clarence House.
And nobody says house when they say anything.
This is clearly a romanticized notion, however, as in reality, only about 3% of Brits actually speak this dialect. There are nearly 40 dialects total in England. So what makes us swoon when we hear an English accent? Is it Mr. Darcy?
You must know. Surely you must know it was all for you.
Is it our friends at Downton Abbey? Or is it the rough, gruff Cockney tone of Jason Statham?
Well, very kind of you to have me back.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love having you back. Every time we're here, we do something fun. This hamster race is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, you're going to lose, by the way. Just let you know that.
It's difficult to pinpoint, but the general British accent always finds itself on the sexy side. Number 5. Irish. Irish English, also known as Hiberno English, consists of 4 or 5 dialects, such as Ulster, Cork, and Dublin accents.
Every time we talk, it's the truth, like. Yeah.
And you have to understand, like, people ask us these questions all the time after races. It just so happened they put a camera in front of us in Rio.
The Irish language is still important to the country and its identity, yet it fell out of common usage around 1800 for a number of reasons. The influence remains in the modern accent, however, as it clearly differs from the British and Scottish sounds. So why is it so attractive? Well, there's no shortage of exposure to Irish celebrities. U2, Colin Farrell, Saoirse Ronan, and so on.
Even the way you said that, it sounded very Irish.
Did it now?
It did, yes, it did.
Yes.
Not bad with the old Irish road.
Not bad with the Irish
Stephen.
accent, am I?
And their culture, music, and literature is widespread and well-known. Many celebrate Ireland's holidays, such as St. Patrick's Day, without any cultural affiliation whatsoever. Perhaps we feel a closeness to the Green Isle, making the accent warm and somehow familiar. Number 4. Brazilian Portuguese. The Brazilian Portuguese accent differs from the European Portuguese one, mainly due to less effective Portuguese occupation in Brazil compared to that of other countries, and the influences of indigenous and African dialects on the language in South America.
In the real meaning is beauty, but as a slang, it means like, okay, like, fine, good.
Portuguese itself is a language that borrows from numerous other languages, including English, French, German, and Italian. These 4 languages appear on our list. Coincidence? Supermodels Gisele Bündchen and Adriana Lima are Brazilian, as was the late singer-dancer Carmen Miranda. Need we say more? Number 3. French. Ah oui, le français. The French accent has long been associated with romance.
Lily, for your surprise showcase, please break down how to do a French accent.
The French language is heavy in vowel sounds, making it breathy. It's also considered melodic, with its intonation greatly differing from English speech, reminding non-French speakers of poetry. Other publications have cited the French language's, quote, come hither condescension and, quote, fiery disinterest, which is the classic romantic concept of playing hard to get.
I feel very feminine, but I also feel masculine. And so I like to show that side of my personality. Yeah, I like to mix the styles.
Some also believe the French culture is the reason behind the sexiness. So the fact that the accent conjures images of cafes and walking along the Seine in gay Paris definitely helps. Number 2. Spanish. Spanish from different regions may sound the same to non-speakers, but it actually does have some subtle differences.
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense?
No, I see the picture and I go, what is this beautiful creature on earth is doing with that guy?
For the purposes of this list, let's stick to Spain. The language itself is heavy on S sounds, which creates a sort of whistle. Whereas American Spanish pronounces J as H, Spanish sounds more like a throaty KH sound. Spain's dialect is perhaps slightly more complex sounding. But why is it so sexy? Well, as was mentioned with French, the culture definitely plays into the attractiveness. The dancing, the music, the warm Spanish summer nights, Penelope Cruz, Antonio Banderas.
Do you have these khakis with pleats?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Italian. The Italian language is, of course, quite similar to Spanish. However, it does have its idiosyncrasies. Most Italian words end in voiced vowels, so when speaking English, Italians will often voice the silent vowels at the ends of words.
And we have two kind of femininity. Lucia, who comes from the past, and Madeleine, who is a woman from the future.
So where's the sexiness? Well, this is another culture-rich part of the world. Italy is ancient and has seen a plethora of time periods and changes.
And I know that Italian schools do a great job at teaching us the English grammar, but most of us lack practice in pronunciation.
It was the setting for Romeo and Juliet, the birthplace of masterful artists such as Leonardo da Vinci, philosophers, scientists, and so on. The accent represents this rich history, and perhaps we feel that we're immersed in this romance when we hear the speech. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.